Beyond deliverance lies the journey into true freedom.
Beyond Deliverance TV, Season 1, Episode 1, The Wilderness. Why God Didn't Stop at Deliverance.
The door has been opened. The chains have been broken. But every new freedom begins with a new journey. Freedom is not merely the absence of captivity. It is the beginning of learning how to live.
Have you ever wondered? In our next episode, we will discover that the wilderness was never meant to be Israel's home. It was God's classroom.
Sometimes the shortest road is not the road that prepares us.
Have you ever wondered why God did not lead Israel straight into the Promised Land?
For more than 400 years, the children of Israel lived under the heavy burden of slavery in Egypt.
But in their suffering, they cried to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But slavery was never God's purpose for his people. He had not forgotten his covenant.
God heard their cry. He remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
But God had already begun preparing their deliverer, because God's timing is always perfect.
Freedom sometimes leads us to places where only God can make a way. Then the Lord made a way where there was no way. The sea opened by the power of God. Israel had crossed the Red Sea. But deliverance was only the beginning of the journey.
God had delivered them from Egypt. But before them lay another journey, the wilderness. God did not lead them into the wilderness to destroy them, but to prepare them. God was doing more than changing their location. He was changing their hearts and their minds. Every morning, God provided exactly what they needed. Day by day, they learned to trust him.
God was teaching them to trust him, to obey him, and to become the people he had called them to be.
Not everyone embraced the journey. Many longed to return to Egypt. They had left Egypt behind, but Egypt had not yet left their hearts. God never called them to return to Egypt. His purpose was always the Promised Land. God was forming a people who would trust him, follow him, and walk in his ways. Faith is not learned in a moment. It grows, one step, one day, at a time. God did not deliver them just to leave them in the wilderness. He was preparing them to possess their inheritance.
Israel's journey is also our journey. God still leads his people from deliverance into maturity. Deliverance is God's wonderful beginning, but true freedom is growing into the full stature of Christ. The wilderness was never their home. It was God's classroom, preparing them for his promise.
Thank you for joining me today. In our next episode, we'll discover why the wilderness was God's classroom for preparing their inheritance. I'll see you there.
Freedom is not merely the opening of a prison door. It is the lifelong journey of walking with Christ. Welcome to Beyond Deliverance TV. The journey continues.